Today, we're taking a flight on one of Australia's hidden commuter airlines. The airline in question is a regional turboprop carrier called Link Airways. Not to be confused with the flagship operator QANTAS Link. Pretty fitting name, right? Their fleet is made up of 11 Saab 340 turboprops, which is a pretty common choice down here. They even got a few Fairchild Metroliners. The plan today is to take them on the quick 42-minute flight from Canberra, where we left off on another slightly more fun turboprop last time, up to Sydney. So, what's it like on board this random regional airline? What are they even gonna do for us on this quick 40-minute commute? Is this gonna turn out to be a better option than taking QANTAS Link, the regional operator of Australia's own flagship? What's going on, guys? Casey Flower here. We'll take a look at this tiny Aussie commuter and see if it's actually a good alternative, or if we'd just be better off on a QANTAS-8 to commute up to the big hub. Well, let's go check in. So this is technically a Virgin Australia flight, but it's operated by Link Airways. I made the reservation through the Virgin Australia app, and the flight has a Virgin Australia call sign. There are only a couple pages where you'll verify your itinerary information, and then a couple more where you'll verify that you're on a safety hazard carrying anything dangerous. But then, after that, the mobile boarding pass is ready.
We are at the boarding area. I got to the airport a little too early just because TSA did not open until 30 minutes after I arrived. It didn't open until 5, and I got here at 4:30, so I had to wait outside for a little bit. But yeah, eventually it did open. I got through with everyone, and it took me all of 5 minutes for me and all of my stuff to get through. But once I got through, went for a quick Aussie souvenir run, and now I'm at the gate. So we're about 5 minutes out from lining up and boarding. So here shortly, we'll start lining up and getting outside for an on-time departure.
Yeah, well, our scheduled boarding time came and went, and nobody was present at the gate to work the flight. But pretty soon the crew did show up late, and it wasn't until 20 minutes after our scheduled boarding time until we were lining up, and it was go time. Vector Hotel Vector Echo Zulu will be the 27-year-old Saab for the commute to Sydney. After getting delivered brand new in October of 1998 to Northwest Airlines as November 450 Extra Juliet, she went to Delta in October of 2008 with that same registration, then to Silver Airways, rest in peace, in December of 2012. It switched to the registration November 350 Alpha Golf with Silver in January of 2014, before making the trek all the way down to Australia in November of 2022 to fly with Corporate Air, with the registration it has now, Vector Hotel Vector Echo Zulu, before finally switching to Link in February of 2023. I made the quick walk back to seat 3A. 3A has a width of 18, a pitch of 30, and a recline of 3.
Alright, welcome aboard the Link Airways Saab 340 up to Sydney. So yeah, first impressions on the seat so far. Not bad for a Saab, not bad for a commuter turboprop. Pretty good legroom, really good recline. I actually startled both myself and the person sitting behind me with how far back the seat could recline. And the width too is also not bad. There's a little bit of scratches and wear and tear on the seat, but nothing too bad. There's also no in-seat power or seatback IFE, which goes without saying. We don't need that. Short, hot, regional turboprop, we don't need any of that. But yeah, we are starting our taxi out to the runway after our delay, so I'll go ahead and catch you guys once we're in the air.
We were delayed a good 42 minutes heading out because we had to bring on some extra fuel to account for the weather, and the airline wanted to check a couple passengers in at the very last second. Couldn't tell you why they let them on this late, but nonetheless, everything was sorted out, and we were heading out to the runway nearly 45 minutes late.
Pleasure to welcome on board your Virgin Australia service operated by Link Airways, VA625. Today in the flight deck we have Captain Mark Bennett and First Officer Timon Dyer and myself, Barit, in the cabin.
are airborne out of Canberra and on our way up to Sydney. The flight attendant said that you're coming through with water and complimentary snacks, so we'll see what that's all about here in a few minutes. But yeah, as of now, just looking outside, watching the sunrise and looking at that prop outside with it and making our way up. Right, so with the water, she also came back with these tiny granola bars here. Not even a granola bar, it's like a granola bite thing. To be honest, I have no idea. But yeah, I don't love that, but if small granola bites your thing, then go for it. Love that for you. How about it? Yeah, both are complimentary, respectfully, which are nice to see. It is nice that they do give you something. So water and granola bites are definitely better than nothing, but it would be kind of cool to have a little bit more selection. So one, maybe two more small things in there. But yeah, I'll take what I can get. It's a quick flight. I don't hate it. The snack I don't love, but the selection of just water and the snack I don't hate. But yeah, we have a ways to go until we get to Sydney. We have some weather up there, as well as all the traffic there going into holding patterns. So that includes us. So that puts us at an arrival time of close to like 45 minutes behind schedule, which isn't ideal, but I have a long enough connection time. I have like 3.5 hours in Sydney, so I'm not too necessarily worried about it. So with that, my hands are tied. I can't do anything to get us to arrive sooner. So just sit back, relax, look outside, and enjoy the sunrise. That's cold water. That's good cold water. Alright, welcome to the very cramped rear view of the Link Airways Saab 340. Yeah, very tiny in here. We even got the mirrors angled like that. But other than that, got the corner mirror here, the only mirror here. We got the loo itself, pretty clean for the most part. Yeah, I'd say pretty clean for the most part. Got tissues up here, flat and call button if necessary. Soap here, kind of stuck to the counter so we can't take it off. Kleenexes here, and toilet paper there. No sink or anything like that, so all we have is the soap to sanitize our hands and trash. But yeah, it definitely gets the job done for what it is, just extremely cramped. And just like that, we're on our way down into Sydney. Something a little funny I found was that there's no Wi-Fi on board, as I kind of expected. But if I go into my Wi-Fi settings, I can see a network there. That's the aircraft registration. So I would think that's just something for the flight crew to connect to just use like for Flight 4 to just aviate up there. So we do have a Wi-Fi network for the crew, but just not us back here. But yeah, a little bit bumpy on the way down, as they kind of briefed us before we started descending. So at this point, I'm gonna use the rest of the time on the way in to rate the airline using my Chainer original rating system. I call it the Raleigh rating scale because my first name is Raleigh. If you're new here, I use this scale to rate all the airlines I take at the end of every one of my airline reviews. It has 6 different categories to see how well the airline did at each category. So for the rest of this very bumpy descent, approach, and landing, let's go ahead and see how the Link Airways Saab did today. The service was a 10 out of 10, as our flight crew took great care of us,
and were friendly throughout the flight. They did everything they could to get us out as on time as possible despite the delay, and kept us updated by communicating. The cleanliness was an 8 out of 10, as there were some scratches and wear on the seat backs, but honestly that was all that stood out. The cabin itself looked fine, and I didn't have any issues with it. All that really mattered though were the windows were crystal clear. The Wi-Fi was a 0 out of 10, as there was none available. The food was an 8 out of 10, as everything they offer is complimentary. The specific drinks and snacks vary from flight to flight, so on this one, all we got were that small granola bite and small cup of cold water. After a quick Google research session, I found out that there are more snacks available, they just vary from flight to flight, but they only gave out a single item. It would be cool to see one, maybe two more things to bite on offered. Moving over to drinks, it looks like they do have hot drinks, so it would be cool to see coffee or tea offered on this morning flight. They also apparently offer cold drinks and even alcohol for later flights. It is also very possible that this information may not even be accurate anymore, so they may not even have any of that at all. At the end of the day though, this is only a quick hour flight, and we could survive without anything. In reality, the water and small snack bite were more than sufficient. The entertainment was a 0 out of 10, as nothing was provided by the airline on board to keep us busy. It's also a relatively old cabin, so in-seat power and seat back IFE are out of the question. It's bring your own device, so charge your device up, bring a power bank, and download content. There's also no internet or in-flight entertainment browser. The seat was a 9 out of 10, as it had a lot of room for a small turboprop. Great legroom, amazing recline, and good width. The only thing that really bothered me were the armrests were just a little low, but I think that's more of a Saab thing. As mentioned, it's pretty bare minimal, with nothing there to help in the entertainment category, such as power or an IFE. But come on, we knew that, we don't care about that. So, the overall rating for the airline is going to be a 5.8 out of 10. Despite getting in late, we still had to wait a few extra minutes for the passenger bus to arrive to get us into the terminal. Alright, welcome to Sydney. My final thoughts on that Link Airways Saab, and if you would have been better off on that QANTAS Link Q400. Honestly, it would probably be the same thing, and the only difference would just be there may be more snack and drink choices on QANTAS. Yeah, it's pretty standard to a regional airline. Free water, maybe free drinks, maybe one or two more free snacks.
But yeah, it would be the same apart from a few more snack choices on the Q400. But if you'd rather do that and that's your thing, go with Qantas, obviously. I don't know if you want to commute. But at the end of the day, what Link Airways had is pretty much just the standard for any regional airline. What you'd see pretty much almost anywhere. No different, nothing different. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and catch the international transfer bus to Terminal 1 to get on my United flight home. So I will get on that, and I'll catch you guys back here for the next airline on the next adventure. Bye for now.